Hi, I don't know if you can see the mountain. I'm trying to get it so you can see it. Let's see. Maybe I'll sit over here. See if you can see it here. Yeah, there she is. There she is. I'm having to work this out with props. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna hold it. I just think she's so beautiful. Let's see if I can do it this way. Hi, everybody. I don't know what happened. I just started hearing myself. So this is the one. Here's the one. And she's beautiful. She's just beautiful. And I call her the mother with all her breasts and all her wonders. I can't, I don't have my, any way to stabilize whatever we call it. But she's so beautiful. Her name, Sandia, means watermelon. The Spanish came through and named her, not the, so she's so beautiful. So I'm going to try to sit down now and have a conversation and somehow hold the video so that we can stay in touch with her. There we go. I usually have my thing. She's beautiful. So the reason I'm out here is because my daughter and her dog Kevin are leaving the weekend. And so I'm just going to give you some little sound bites. I'm not going to try to string it together. For those of you who don't know, I lost my dog Lily July 31st, 2020. And I've been looking for kind of the one-liner for the grief. And I kind of found it today with my daughter and Kevin leaving, not because anything's wrong, just because she lives in Burple. Burple is a 16-person passenger van that she recreated into I'm going to try something. I think all you see if I do this, though, is the sky. But we'll try it. I think it might work better. See what we're doing. Okay, hold on. Sorry, everybody. What is that? Oh, I know what I did. Okay, hold on. Okay, now. There we go. There we go. Just so we can be with her. That's all I care about. Okay, we're good. So I just wasn't gonna make it. You know that kind of place in your heart where you just can't get a handhold, where it's just too hard, where it's just too much. And mostly what human beings do is they shelter themselves, they calcify their heart, of course they do. I mean, this is no judgment. This is no condemnation at all. Of course they do. And or they become irate or positional or hate or blame others for the pain they cause them. So it's just a big tangled mess, basically, this thing called love. And so when I woke up this morning and I knew she'd be packing to leave, I guess from a psychological point of view, I was back being in an earlier similar of having my son Jeremy, when he was dying at 5 years old, being taken off life support, and the nurses put him in my arms. And my promising him that I would be the greatest mother he would ever want. And something about that, something about just committing to love with no hope of return, knowing I would never be able to mother him, something about it was magical. Something happened magical when I gave love a place, in this case, promising him I would be a good mother to life. And then my dog, Lily, died, ripped quite a hole in my human heart, my personal human heart. And then today, Leona absolutely should be leaving with her puppy and go back and live off grid in Burple. And she lives such a colorful, beautiful, intense, emotional life. She's like art. But suddenly I had words. I had words that I could put to the pain and the loss, feeling of loss and the grief, because it had to do with having love close to you. That's why kids have stuffed toys and like puppies, and there's something about having love physically close to you that is just miraculous and so bloody hard to deal without. Because she's only going across the river, and I'll see her, and I'll still be, somebody with rational logic would just be letting me know that I'll see the puppy from time to time, Kevin. But that wasn't it. Lily was just an incredible being. The day she died, I knew she'd left me like Jeremy did. It left me with a mission of my own heart. And the mission of my own heart was to be able to take the pain, pretty much universal, of how hard it is for love to be physically close in a human world. How it's just hard to feel that depth of connection, that depth of unity, and that depth of oneness, because it can't be lived without the emotion of love. It just can't be lived, that unity, that oneness, without confronting the paradox of what it is to be alive and to choose love. It can make you look like a martyr where 3 people you thought you were friends, or tell somebody they're scared to talk to you about something they were going to do that, um, and not let you know, just have you find out secondhand. To live in a home where you think that you're going to live there forever, California, until the bears came because they love being close to me. I'm being told I had to get rid of the bears, but to get rid of the bears would be to get rid of my faithfulness to my heart, not your heart, not the universal heart, my heart. So I had to leave a place I loved. So all that was crowding in on me is because that's what happens when we're in pain. The injustice of life sweeps us away, or what we perceive to be the injustice of human life, not so much life itself, but the injustice of circumstantial life, and often seeming injustice of human beings with each other. But to reclaim love, there's no other path. It's the only gift that human beings have. Their love. It's the only thing that no one can take away from them. No one can take away from me. I wasn't so worried so much about the overwhelming loss and grief this morning. And also the fact I had to do a Facebook Live at 8 o'clock and I just refused to bail. But I was afraid I was going to have a panic attack. That what I was feeling was so gut-wrenching, so painful. Not associated with any action on my daughter's part at all, or any action on Lily's part, just how hard it is to be separate from the physicalness of love. Just how hard it is. And often how impossible it feels to ever have that. But also at the same time, why I fight so hard to keep my son Jeremy close to me in spirit, and my children close to me in spirit, and Lily close to me in spirit, because it keeps my love alive. It keeps my love alive until it can show up physically in some manner again. And for me, always the mountain. That's why I came back. I don't know what the native Indians, the native born youth, I don't know their relationship with her. They clearly worship her. And they speak of her greatness. And she's physical. And she touches my heart. So recently, a very good friend of mine was going through just a horrific rip in her heart, in her love of life and love of a child that wasn't going to be born. And I stayed with her the whole time because I knew we sometimes we left the phone on, and sometimes we just texted back and forth. And because I'm so familiar with the pain of loss of love in the physical world. And yet I choose this. I choose this path. I don't choose the loss of love in the physical world, but to choose this path, you have to have some strength, stamina, capacity for choosing love, regardless of its journey. Like Kahlil Gibran's poem, it will tear you apart. It will leave you strewn on the floor. but it will also give you life, life beyond measure. So it wasn't so much the emotion or the pain or the loss this morning. It was having to have my daughter see it. I didn't want my daughter to see me in that much pain when it wasn't her doing, my choice. Not much loss when there's nothing she can do about it, and she's still recovering from the loss of her own partner and her other dog. And sometimes, it's just too much. Sometimes the pain of another is often as hard to be with as the pain, your own pain. And sometimes it just feels too much. But I always go back to what my beloved Brian Christopher said. He said once to me when I told him how bad my heart hurt, he just said, open it wider. Kate's been sending me, what is it? I can't pronounce his name. Titnyan. She's been sending me these recordings this morning of Titnyan and beautiful songs. One of them was about where joy and sorrow meet is heaven. And she's been leaving me short little voice messages. But the last one, because that's the last one she left me, was she said she found that she does deep, deep journeying. She's such a beautiful soul. And the last one she said me, she said, when I'm in these journeys, I crawl into my own heart. I curl up there and close away the world. And I live there again, isolated from the world around me, until I'm content there again. Content in my own heart, absence from any outside stimulation. And I did an activation on the high heart a few days ago, and I realized that when you're deep in your own heart, when you're where joy and sorrow meet, when you're where you think the physical agony of loss is going to take you away from your joy, and you choose to still stay true to your path of love, not the path of love. We get all fouled up in that one. But your path of love, that is the high heart. It is an absence of emotion. It is an absence of loss. We have experienced, each one of us on this call and anyone that listens to it later, many of us have experienced loss of someone's love, loss of the physical partner, loss of a child, loss of a world, loss of ourselves. All of us have these tracings. And the only remedy is to choose love, your love, the one that lives in only your heart, that little alchemy of life that was given to you when you came here to treasure. I'm on a homeopathic remedy because it's just been the most amazing journey, this loss of breathing. And you think these things in your logic and your rationale about, does the emotional body affect the physical body? And the remedy that my homeopath and Grass Valley, Amy put me on, who's working with COVID symptoms, post-COVID symptoms, was carbon monoxide. It's all about depletion. It's why I come to the mountain. And Kate was saying, just sing, Tundra, just sing. I won't be singing. There are people walking all over the place. Maybe I'll sing here with you. Maybe we can be together in song. But I said, I'm okay. I'm just going to come and let the mountains sing to me. Because it's really important not to be depleted. And I was depleted. You know, I had to leave a home I thought I had put $10,000 in and thought I'd be living there the rest of my life. I knew Lily was dying over a 4-year period, and I work long hours on purpose because I love it. And then I had COVID, which did completely deplete me. And then my dog died shortly after that. And then I moved here. So, from a rational, logical, psychological, therapeutic point of view, I've definitely been depleted. But what I didn't know about, although I guess I did in hindsight, I'm reflecting as I'm talking, I guess I did because it's why I took off in the car and why I went to all the national parks and why I went to my friend's house is I had to stay in touch with the beauty of the physical world. That's all I had available to me. And the loss I experienced that brought up all the other losses. Loss is an alchemy, not just a circumstance. You can experience loss if you lose a job or if you lose the ability to use your little finger. Loss is an alchemy. It's a shamanic path. It's a opportunity to build love in the face of the depletion of physical love. So I guess I did do that, and then I moved to New Mexico. Lily and I did in spirit, and me in flesh, because I love it here. And I made my rooms, 2 rooms, beautiful, and I'm making my outside of the house just beautiful, so I can be in touch with the physicalness of love. But I do think it's why humanity has escaped to its head, and is at the effect of its emotions. I have to build back my deprivation. I went to this lovely little medical massage therapist who turned out to be a Chinese doctor. She's hiding behind that um, banner. And she asked me what had suppressed me. And it's what actually triggered my not being able to suppress my emotions about my daughter and Kevin leaving and the space being empty, the memory still being there. And when I woke up this morning and it was just coming on, it wasn't gonna, I don't know if you noticed about your emotions, but boy, when they're coming on, they're coming on. Ain't nothing gonna stop them. They have their own place in the scheme of things, and God help you if you try to suppress them. Actually, and the minute you heard the word, the minute I realized I was trying to suppress my emotions, she said, "What is suppressing you?" My little Chinese acupuncturist, who'd put 54 needles in me because I know what 54 needles are. You put 54 needles in the human body when it's so depleted, it can't reboot its own chi. It can't boot its own prana. But it also reboots you. It also reboots you. And I realized what the suppression was me suppressing my emotions, my feelings, because I don't know what to do about it. It's the kind of the end of my stream of the consciousness this morning is I don't know what to do with my emotions. I just long for what I love, unrelentingly. It's why I am so committed to nature, because the day as a mystic I knew I came to love human beings, including this one. I knew it was going to be laden with the need to not have expectation or the need to have return. I knew it. That's the path. If you take the mystical path, it's really all on you and your creator, you and what created you. You take the path because you chose it, because you have a feeling that there's beauty and magic and wonder and awe in choosing this path of love. So for years I never used the word love. I never used the word God, because for me God is love, not not chopped liver into 1,000 different belief systems, but the essence of the generating, organizing design of creation of which we're part. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I got that one. I got that one down. No sense of separation at all. And the personal self was often put to the side for me, because I could actually find beauty in my work and what I was capable of doing. But then slowly but surely, if you really, 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 really are, what did Janice call it? A way shore and a path maker. It all comes back to you and your choice about what life is for you. Otherwise, your words are hollow. You're not walking your talk and you're not living your words. And I think that's a sin. A sin meaning you can't possibly hit the bullseye. It's this term in archery. So I'm going to turn the phone around. I'm in my sunglasses, and I just want to see you and see if I'm still recording. Because I got my hair cut. See if I'm still recording. Hi. I think I'm going to walk over here and lean against the fence. And of course, let's pray it doesn't break. As I lean against it, because I'd like to have the mountain in the background. Yeah, there. In the sky. Isn't that amazing? In the Mexico sky. I don't know if you can see it when I came. You can see the bottom of it. Well, let me see if I can do it. When I came, this was all, yeah, it's still doing it. It starts down there. See it? And then it's all streaming out everywhere. It's just gorgeous. There's Molly Malone, my car next to the big car next to the little car. Right. This will be the most jostly video I've done in a long time. So I think the last thing I wanted it for me. Facebook Live is no accident. I don't think things in time are an accident. I think time lives to have us awaken and have us become part of something larger than the narrowness of the circumstantial world we got born into. And I I just want you to know love is a personal choice and a personal journey, and one that can really hurt. And I don't think the problem is the hurt. I think the problem is being alone in it. And so having Kate with me this morning and C coming out and asking if I needed a hug, because I don't do well being touched when I'm emotional. I told her I was going to the mountain. Those little things you can do, being by someone's side, just being there. It's so helpless feeling, I know, because we don't know what to do. It's not a do. That was my lesson today. My lesson today was to have the strength, stamina, capacity for all my emotions, and find a way to take just the edge off enough, just to find a way to take the edge off enough so my heart can grow bigger for me and it has more room for me. For me, the outer world doesn't give as much as we could give ourselves. I promise you that. We've been taught to give only to ourselves is selfish. But selfish means the self of God, the self of creation. So maybe my words have touched you. It would be my desire to build the strength, stamina, capacity of our human heart. That would be a great joy. And it's because we choose. Love is going to come anyway. The loss of it is going to come anyway. As long as we're physical, the only choice we have is choose. Choose to run from it or choose it. And I bet you money, my love for my daughter and my love for her dog will be bigger once I get past this. I'll have more room in my heart because I've crossed the threshold of loss. And I've stayed faithful to love. I wish you the same if you so choose. I just wish you the same if you so choose. I do know it's the unique magic of human being. I do know when you take that path and make that choice in the face of all the physical world that lacks it, you are a pure raindrop in a toxic sea. And there's sometimes you don't think you can choose it anymore. But what's the alternative? What's the alternative? So I'm going to turn the phone around again and just complete the call and let you see my mountain. She's beautiful beyond measure. She's always been there for me, even the 30 years I've been gone. Go collect who's there for you. You can put me on your list if you like. But go see who's there for you, both human and non-human. Prana of every plant reaches out to us, every tree. Prana of every mountain reaches out to us. We are their beloved. They exist so we can see them, and so they can touch us in ways we don't know how to touch ourselves. Take precious care of your heart. Find its cavity. Crawl in it. Make it your home. Namaste.